Okay, so I finished the Lift interlude and the Zeth one. And, we got some stuff to talk about. So for starters, Lift is adorable. She's 13 years old. She's a little girl. And she's out, like, thieving. And she can eat food and turn it into Stormlight, which is pretty wild. And listen, I love Syl. She's wonderful. Pattern's funny. I think Wendell might be my favorite Spren. He's such like he's a funny little guy. He's like, oh God, because he's like, I don't know, he's like babysitting her, even though she obviously doesn't need it. But just the hijinks between the two, and the fact that he can like turn into vines. I don't know, that's just really cool. And then he also said that he didn't want to pick Lift. He's like, I wanted like a grandmother type of thing. But then he said the ring chose her. And he said that Lift has visited the old magic, and they were thinking of picking her because they can like mold her and stuff. But the old magic, and then he mentioned like the mother, right? And the mother grants like stuff. So the Night Watcher is the mother of all Spren? If that's true, that's pretty wild. I laughed out loud when Wendell is trying to explain to her like how things work, and she just like starts yawning. And then he tries it again, and she just yawns even more. She's like, oh my God, this is so boring. Wonderful. So good. But then the guy who killed Yim with the crescent scar on his face, he showed up, and he's like, I'm here for the thief. And just straight up like grabs a tiny girl. And he's like, yeah, we're going to kill her. What? And he's able to like take Stormlight from people. He like threw something at her and then like took her Stormlight. That is terrifying. Also, they mentioned something about like shard blades, right? So you can have a shard blade and not be a Radiant. I'm assuming, right? Like just having a shard blade doesn't make you a Radiant because like Sadeas isn't and Elhokar isn't. Yeah, so that's a little wild. And this guy is just going around taking shard blades. So yikes. And they killed her friend, and she was able to bring him back. And then she was able to bring him back with the Stormlight. And this guy, Darkness, whatever he is, RoboCop is what I'm calling him, because he's like, justice, it's about the law. He's RoboCop. So RoboCop sees Lift bring her friend back to life. And he's like, oh, you're an edge dancer. How does he know that? And then he said, what you are must be stopped. So what is he doing? And I do love that as this is all happening, her friend that's brought back to life, the other like priests who are like essentially the Dalai Lama people are like, oh, he just came back to life after he died. That's the new ruler. Gotta be. And then he's like, quick, she's pardoned. And then, you know, RoboCop is just like, oh, all right. Wild. But all of this did make, like, he said, what you are must be stopped, right? He's also a shard bearer who can use Stormlight, so I'm guessing he's some kind of Radiant, I would assume. Probably wrong, but who knows? But he said they need to be stopped. And that kind of got my brain turning a little bit to where, what if the Voidbringers are actually the Radiants? That would be nuts. There's no way that's true, though. But I'm pretty sure I could be misremembering or missing stuff. I mean, Lift straight up took a cudgel to the chest and, like, cracked her ribs. That's a child. That's crazy. But, so they I think she mentioned that shard blades were made to kill Spren? Huh. Like, that was their design? That's why they exist, is to kill Spren, and people have just been using them for, like, war and shit? Pretty wild. But anyway, all of that was nuts. Lift is cool. I like her. She's a scrappy little girl. I love that she calls her powers awesomeness. She's like, time to get awesome. Let's do this. I love that. That's great. And we go from that to Zeth, who is having a hard time. And he's hanging out in Urithiru, the place that Shallan is trying to get to. Zeth is there. And maybe it's just because of who I am, but when they were like describing it, it pretty much sounds like it looks like Minas Tirith in Gondor. Like with the levels and the rings kind of get bigger as they go on. So that's pretty wild. But then the chapter ended with him being like, you know what? And he like jumps off And then he goes to a village nearby, and they like leave out spheres for him because they think he's like a god. And he said that he's going to go somewhere and get information, or at the very least, kill somebody that he wants to kill, which is pretty intense. Is it the guy who is holding his oath stone, or is it somebody else? I don't know, but those are wild.